Hello, everyone. Today, let us nourish wisdom in the mind, in the life element that is formless, empty, pure, and clear within us. Our mind is the original element, the primal element, the element that existed before all things, the immortal element. This mind does not move, it does not come and go, it has never been born, and it has never been destroyed. It is one with the emptiness right before us, merging seamlessly with the whole universe of elements. And yet, we do not realize our own mind, even though we already have it. Thus, the knowledge of realizing the mind is something we must all learn. Once realized, we are freed from suffering forever. This knowledge is not something to be sought from outside. It is already here within us. We do not need to practice ascetic disciplines or wander into forests and remote places in search of it. We simply awaken within, observing the inner nature. Do we see that whatever stirs, whatever carries meaning, is not the mind? Whatever arises, dissolves, shifts, and changes, none of that is the mind. The voice I am speaking right now, it arises and dissolves constantly. That too is not the mind. The voice that speaks inside, have you ever noticed? It thinks by itself. If we observe and awaken within, we will see that this voice is only a ripple that arises and fades away. It ripples and dissolves within the emptiness of the mind. If we see carefully, we will understand. The inner voice is not who we are. This simple truth is something we have never known before, yet nature has always been showing it to us. By way of analogy, in this universe there are countless stars, suns, and black holes. Some stars once orbited peacefully in their systems, but one day collided and exploded into fragments. Some were destroyed by the eruptive power of the sun. The sun itself can transform into a black hole, pulling in stars and matter, shattering them into dust. This is the nature of things. Can we see this truth? Turning back to our own world, one day, this earth too will break apart. Closer still, everything around us arises only to dissolve. This is the truth continually displayed before us. A seed becomes a sapling, then a great tree, then withers and decays. This is the truth. The bodies of humans and animals, from small child to grown adult, expanding in strength, until the peak, and then decline begins. Aging sets in, illness appears, because of decay. Like a car, new, it works well. After a while, rust, deterioration, and collapse. It can no longer function. Our bodies are the same. This is the truth. In the end, every body, even this one we call ours, must break apart. When this body finally breaks apart and dies, where then is our true being? We have come to dwell in this vessel, yet we do not know for what purpose. When we were first born, we did not know how we came to inhabit it. Once inside, we became restless, struggling and striving to feed and maintain this body, busy from morning until night, just to sustain it. Was this the reason we were born, merely to care for this temporary container? If we have not yet seen the truth, it shows that we still lack the wisdom to perceive it. In the end, this body grows old, decays, and suffers, and with every step of decline, we fall into distress. We fail to see what is always right before us, that the body exists only to deteriorate. Still, we cling to the hope that it will not age, not sicken, not break apart. We want life to last long, to match our dreams and wishes, but when things do not go as we imagine, sorrow arises. As the body wears down, illnesses appear that never existed before. The money we worked so hard to earn is eventually spent on medical care, yet it can never preserve the body. And so, we suffer with what is simply showing us its nature. We suffer with the truth itself. Do we see this clearly? That the body is born to age, to fall ill, and to die. This is reality, is it not? But why do we suffer with reality as it is? When parents, whom we love most dearly, are struck by severe illness, cancer, heart disease, blood disorders, conditions that shorten their time, truth is revealing itself. Yet as soon as we hear of their sickness, our minds are heavy with grief. We pour out our savings to care for them, and then grieve again when the money's gone. Stress consumes us, and we lose sleep. This, too, is the truth of living in this vessel. But have we ever asked why we were born at all? Do we still not know? Reality presents itself ceaselessly, yet we resist it. Why do we keep suffering with what simply is? Since birth, we have cycled endlessly, sometimes joy, sometimes sorrow, sometimes anger and hatred, sometimes delight, bliss, or tender dreams, and sometimes nightmares. What do we really seek in dwelling within this fragile form? Do we believe anything will remain unchanging? Or will we finally accept the truth? If we can accept even this basic reality, we would no longer suffer at this level. Yet most of us never accept. Instead, we cling to what deceives us. We dislike truth because it feels unbearable, so we prefer illusions. We want the lie to continue without end. This body, like the body of every being, is born only to age and decline. Decline comes in many forms. The heart weakens, the blood system falters, the cells of every part slowly deteriorate. This very process of degeneration manifests as countless illnesses. When the liver weakens, disease arises. When the kidneys fail, many conditions follow. When the blood and circulation break down, endless sickness appears. As the body declines further, we suffer greatly. We struggle to earn money to treat it, and when money is not enough, we struggle even more. We suffer deeply, praying and pleading that the body not grow old, not grow weak, not fall ill or die. Tears are shed, minds weighed down with stress and sleepless nights, all the while forgetting that these things are nothing other than the truth. The body exists only to break apart. Every body, every creature, every material form, houses, cars, wealth, possessions, none of it is truly us or ours. Yet we cling to them as though they were. We cling to this body as though it belongs to us, while in truth the mind only came to dwell in this vessel for one purpose: to realize that we are the mind itself, the pure, formless, luminous life element. Nothing is us, nothing belongs to us. Time is short. Reality is showing itself constantly. The body is fading. It is heading toward dissolution. Do not cling to anything. Every moment, truth reminds us that the body is destined to weaken, to die. Before death, it reaches its extreme decline, manifesting as incurable disease, for this is its nature. And when it falls deeply into degeneration, we suffer again in our struggles to heal it. Parents, siblings, children, when we cannot save them, sorrow overtakes us. The same with our own body. As it declines, anxiety multiplies. Worries for children, parents, home, debts, possessions. Yet all these things we call ours are not truly ours. The earth itself belongs only to the world. No one owns it. Still, we fight and claim pieces of land as mine. Water too we claim. All resources we insist belong to us. But they belong only to the world, because we claim them as ours. When they are not, suffering arises. The truth is simple and always here. Nothing belongs to anyone. All material things on this earth belong to no one at all. Even this body is not ours. It belongs to the world itself. We come to dwell in this vessel of flesh because, in truth, we are a nature without form. You may call this nature mind. We are the mind. We have no shape of our own, so we rely on a body to appear as if we had one. When the body breaks apart and dies, we leave it behind and seek another. To be born human is exceedingly rare. Think of how countless bodies exist in all realms of life, on land, underground, in water, in the air, even beyond the earth. The number is beyond measure, infinite, yet the number of human forms is but a few. If we compare it, it is as though we pinch up a little soil between two fingers. The grains in our hands are like human bodies, while the endless grains covering the earth are all the other vessels waiting for us to inhabit. Most of the time, we end up taking birth in those. When we dwell in the body of a fish, we believe we are a fish. Only moments before, we had been human. When the human form dies, we go into the form of a fish, and we believe ourselves to be such. When that form dies, we move to a body of land-dwelling creatures, and then believe ourselves to be that. When that form dies, we take on a body underground. Each time, we identify with the vessel. We forget what we truly are. Once human, then fish, then beast, then creature of the earth, each time claiming, "This is me." But what are we really? In every form, the fate is the same: to eat, to struggle, and to die in vain. Do we see this truth? Whatever identity we cling to, whether human, animal, bird, or being of the air, in the end, they are nothing but containers, lumps of matter where we temporarily dwell. None of them are us. We are the life element, utterly pure, without form, radiant and clear. Why then do we come into these vessels? Are we here merely to eat and then die, trapped in delusion that this body is me? In whatever form, we spend our days in turmoil, seeking food to sustain the vessel, all the while believing we are that body. But in truth, we have never been born into this world at all. We are a formless nature, the pure life element, crystal clear and immaculate. Have we ever known ourselves as such? Number. We have not recognized our true essence. Why do I speak like this? Because more than 10 years ago, I turned back against the current of delusion, awakened, and became clear to my own pure element. I ceased to question outward things and saw the truth. Nothing is us. This body is not even a body as we think. The voice that speaks now is not truly a voice. Who can understand this? It is not our voice. The mental images we imagine are not ours. Emotions are not ours. Even the act of knowing right now is not us knowing. Can we accept this? Even memory, the thought I remember, there is no I that remembers. When it is seen that these things are not us, when all the knowledge we once thought was me is shattered, it all bursts and dissolves into fine dust, as though everything has been erased. Then the truth is revealed. We are a nature beyond words, beyond the fabrications of language. In the pure element, there is no speech, no sound, only life itself, knowing directly, realizing that we have never been born and cannot ever be born. I came to awaken and know my own pure element, seeing that we are a crystal clear essence, one with the emptiness before us, merged into the whole universe. This is not a passing state. It is always so, even now. There is no feeling of being human left, no sense that I am speaking, no giving meaning to sound as voice, no notion that I am knowing. Only purity remains. Here there is no suffering, no movement, no coming or going, never born, never destroyed. At this point it does not arise again. No matter what, there is no more arising. And it becomes clear that we have exchanged vessels endlessly, in numbers beyond infinity. We have had children beyond counting, parents beyond measure, families, siblings, relatives without end. If one could gather all the bones left from every life we have lived, they would pile higher than the mountains of this earth. Do you realize this? We do not. We only live in the unknown. Every birth, every dwelling in these vessels has brought tears, so much sorrow that the tears would turn to blood, so vast that they would exceed all the oceans of the world combined. This truth became utterly undeniable on the day of awakening. We have never truly been born into this world. All the knowledge that once defined us as human burst apart completely. Have you ever experienced this? To see fabrications within the mind in every single moment, with no gap, from waking to sleeping, even in dreams, the knowing continues. And in the final breaking point, every detail is seen. At last, it is as if an explosion erupted in the center of the chest, obliterating every trace of self. Not a speck of me remained, not even the faintest feeling that I am speaking, or that I am knowing. Every notion of being human was blown apart, leaving a brilliance so radiant it encompassed the whole universe. It was seen that the infinite cosmos dwells within, and we are that. We are the crystal clear emptiness, the original element, the primal source of all. Before the first star appeared, there was already this luminous emptiness, pure, uncreated, indestructible. This is the immortal element, the beginningless truth. In that reality, there was no darkness, no light, no dust, no stars, nothing but purity. In it there is no time, no distance. It is all, and it is everything. We are the whole of it. In the beginning, there was not even a name such as universe. There was nothing, only radiant, crystal clear emptiness, without form, without size, beyond all description. No language can capture it, for it is beyond fabrication. This is the element we truly are. Yet we have never known it, have we? We have lived only in unknowing, not knowing what we really are. This is the primal element, utterly pure, perfectly clear, but unaware of itself. From here everything began. One day, within this pure element, there was a great eruption. At a single point, immeasurable energy burst forth, and from this, we all were scattered out. Each one of us began to create coverings of perception in order to learn from what touched us, like a bubble forming around emptiness. Thus, divided from the wholeness, we appeared in the world of fabrication, dwelling inside the very bubbles we had made. It is like the smallest of particles, what we call quanta, or even smaller, quarks. Within them is this same empty, luminous essence as the primal element, surrounded by masses of energy that revolve around it. To speak in scientific terms, imagine electrons, protons, and neutrons with positive, negative, and neutral charges spinning in orbit. This is how energy functions. And at the core, we are the life element, subtle, transparent, radiant, encircled by the energy we ourselves set in motion. In truth, mind, or the life element, is just this. It is the clear, pure element, and it generates fabrications, rippling like a bubble each time it receives contact. Whenever something touches it, it knows, and in knowing it stirs, forming dual movements, one leaning toward the positive, the other toward the negative. Do you see these two poles? They are the extremes, good and bad, merit and fault, right and wrong, dark and light, joy and sorrow, satisfaction and dissatisfaction, pleasure and pain. Between them there is also the neutral pole, the still awareness, simple and steady. This is all our fabrications, rippling back and forth between the extremes, or resting briefly in the center. Yet we always crave happiness and try to escape suffering, not knowing that happiness and suffering are but two sides of the same thing. We do not know that we are the pure, empty element. We do not know how we came to dwell in this vessel. Out of ignorance, we cling to the belief that we are human. But do you see? The mind cannot be human, cannot be an animal, cannot be anything at all. yet we insist that we are human. Such is our unknowing. Not only do we cling to being human, we cling to having parents. But can emptiness have parents? A single mind inhabits a body, and that body gives rise to another body. When we come to dwell in it, we again cling to that body as me. As the body grows, we meet another mind dwelling in another body. We feel drawn to it, and together a new body is formed. Another mind comes to inhabit that body, and we call it our child. But in truth, it is simply one mind. The father is one mind, the mother another. Uncles, aunts, relatives, children, grandchildren, everyone in this world is just a mind. Every creature is one mind. Even the smallest living being is one mind. The world is filled only with minds. These minds generate patterns of knowing, like bubbles wrapped around themselves, separating from the vast emptiness of the cosmos. Believing we have form, we fabricate coverings around ourselves. I call this the subtle body. It is made of fabrications, knowing, thinking, imagining, feeling. We build these formations to enclose ourselves, like bubbles surrounding emptiness. If the bubble is not formed, or if it bursts, then we dissolve into emptiness again, merging into the whole universe. Yet we keep fabricating coverings ceaselessly, so we remain inside this bubble without end. This is what may be called the form of spirit, or the subtle body. We dwell in this subtle form, which is a cluster of fabrications, perceptions, thoughts, memories, emotions. Once this formation arises, space and time are born, and countless dimensions of existence open within it. But do we see this? We live only in the unknown. I tell you, after awakening to the pure element, it became clear. There is no more arising. Even now, in truth, there is no arising. But ordinarily, our mind arises in every single moment. Do you see? Every moment we think in the heart, the mind has arisen. It clings to the voice inside, to the images of imagination, to emotions of satisfaction or dissatisfaction, to calm or unrest, to joy or sorrow. Even one instant of memory, this is a birth of mind. Even a flicker of knowing, this too is birth. Each time we feel that we are perceiving something, even the sense of heat on the skin, that is already the arising of the mind. The nature of birth is nothing more than grasping at a single mental impression for just one moment. The instant the mind clings to it and believes it to be real, that is birth. This is the birth of fabrication, arising immediately, arising continuously. We dwell in a world of fabrications, like living in a dream. In a flash we drift into dreaming, believing ourselves to be what appears there. Then suddenly we awaken, only to dream a new dream, and again awaken, only to dream another. It is like this without end. In truth, we are a formless, radiant, pure element. This pure element of ours generates fabrications in order to dwell in them, to use them as a way of learning. For it is purity itself that seeks to know. Yet our nature is also woven with ignorance. We do not realize that we are the pure element. From the day we were born, no one has taught us this. Parents never said, "You are the pure element." Until now, we still believe we are human. But I have come to know, and I have declared this knowledge in my talks. Many people who listened to just a single talk, in a single day, saw their mind burst open. Like a bubble bursting, the emptiness within merged as one with the vast emptiness of the cosmos. After that, there was no more arising. This is the truth. This is how it is for me, always. I have spoken this truth in detail, showing the way back to the pure element. It is what I call leading you home. My only task is to guide all minds throughout the infinite cosmos back to their home. Let every bubble burst, never create them again. They are not ours. We ourselves fabricate perceptions and formations, voices, mental images, emotions, the act of knowing. We build them as tools, and from them we form appearances, even the human body, even the bodies of animals we dwell in. All of these are fabrications. Do you see? Yet we never knew. I am not speculating. I am only pointing to a simple truth. This body is not ours. Soon it will break apart, for it was born only to perish. Some bodies last a day, some only an hour before dissolving. This body too was born only to decay and die. Do not be foolish enough to suffer over the body of anyone, for in truth every person is but one mind. The mother is one mind, and her mind never dies. The father too is one mind, and his never dies. Children, relatives, animals, all minds never die, never are born. They only dwell in self-made bubbles, covering themselves in fabrications, inhabiting vessels in order to learn, and all for one purpose only, to know themselves as the pure element. Before realizing ourselves as the pure element, we clung to vessels, inhabiting forms, and relating to one another within them. This is what it means to live in the world of conventions. Everything here is conventional. Even the voice that communicates right now is a conventional voice. We assign names and meanings through sound. Look at a tree. It is not truly a lime tree, nor a tamarind tree, nor a teak tree, nor a pine tree. It is simply something, an image appearing before us. Yet we give it a name, saying lime tree, pepper tree, and so on. All meaning is built upon sound. Have you noticed this? The body itself does not speak. Look at the arms and legs. They do not say they belong to anyone. They do not declare themselves as body, arm, leg, or finger. What tells us so? The voice in the mind. That inner voice assigns meaning. This is my leg. But if the leg is cut away, burned to ash, where is my leg then? Could ash truly be my leg? Where is self? Again, it is the voice that insists, here I am. All along, we have depended on sound. Do you see? Sound itself is a fabrication, a ripple in the bubble of mind. And we have been dwelling inside these ripples without noticing. At the beginning, there are 3 layers. First, we are the radiant emptiness itself, without form. This is our true being. Here, there is no language, no sound, only silence, purity, clarity. In this pure element, there is no time, no distance, no movement. It is seamless with the whole cosmos. Then, not knowing, we fabricate coverings around ourselves. Each time we follow thoughts, we are creating another bubble to enclose ourselves. Yet if we see clearly that the voice speaking within is not ours, the bubble is ready to burst. In that instant, we know we are the pure element. Second, we generate the layer of fabrication that wraps around us so that we may appear to have form. Because we long to learn, and not knowing what we are, we require shape in order to encounter and know. Thus, the subtle body arises, the form made of fabrications, the bubble of perception. It is energy surrounding the primal element, much like the sun radiates outward. The heat is not the sun, but the sun's manifestation. The brightness is not the sun itself, but the sun's radiance. Waves of light, fields of magnetism, currents of gravity, all are only the expressions of the star, not the star itself. So it is with us. When the primal element is present, its fabrications emerge as ripples of perception, emotion, thought, and knowing. To mistake these ripples as the essence is blindness, but to see them for what they are is wisdom. Do not remain blind. See clearly and be truly wise. I am explaining something we have never known before. The knowledge of awakening to the mind is the one subject we have never studied and never truly known. From the time we were born, we believed we were human, even though we have never actually been born into this world. We are not human, yet we cannot accept this. That is why I say, I no longer doubt anything. Understand this. The pure, empty, crystal clear element wants to know what it is. So it creates fabrications to cover itself, so that it has a form through which fabrications can arise, and so that perception becomes possible. When this covering is formed, it is like a bubble, and we dwell inside it. When something touches the bubble, it is felt, and the surface ripples with two effects, always in pairs, like positive and negative poles. These ripples manifest as twofold reflections, coming and going, good and bad, right and wrong, true and false. They ripple as waves of sound, as waves of image, as waves of emotion, pleasure and pain. If we compare it to the bubble, its brightness becomes the state of happiness, while its darkness becomes the state of suffering. A pleased emotion is brightness. A displeased emotion is shadow and gloom. The surface ripples with voices, with mental images, with brightness and darkness, with memories and stories, and all of this is perceived because there is the form of the bubble. But do you see? The clear emptiness inside the bubble never becomes anything at all. While we are angry, that clear emptiness is not angry. Can human beings understand this point? No, they cannot. Even right now as I speak, the pure element itself is not anything at all. When we think of what is good or not good, it always divides into these two poles. Whether we think of what is right or wrong, beautiful or frightening, it always brings joy or sorrow, satisfaction or dissatisfaction. We want only happiness and never suffering, yet this is all just playing with emotions. Happiness and suffering are one and the same, not two. Do we realize this? We do not. Understand clearly. These things are not ours. They are only appearances. If we only see that the voice speaking, whether spoken aloud or murmuring inside, thinks and talks on its own, then everything changes. The thoughts keep running. Why did I miss that chance? I should have called earlier. Now it's sold out. Or suddenly, what shall I eat? Or, I should go home to see my mother. She is old. Do you see? The voice speaks inside on its own. When we see that it is speaking by itself, not as me, then it bursts. The moment we realize, it really is not me. It speaks on its own. Something explodes inside. There is openness, lightness, and release. It is as though the bubble has broken, and we awaken to the truth that we are the emptiness itself, open, weightless, formless. How could it not be light? It becomes heavy only because we create fabrications, forming coverings to wrap ourselves. But whenever the form of fabrication breaks apart and dissolves, there arises lightness, spaciousness, freedom. I will say it like this. The voice that speaks within the mind is itself a fabrication. We create it as a bubble, as a layer of fabrication. We create a bubble of voice that wraps around us. Not only that, we also create a bubble of mental images that encloses us, and a bubble of emotions that encloses us as well. We generate these voices, these coverings, wrapping ourselves in them. Because in truth we are emptiness. We fabricate a bubble of voice, a bubble of thought, forming a layer of thinking that covers us. Then we create mental images, a second layer of fabrication, wrapping us again. Then we create yet another layer, the fabrication of emotion, another bubble of transparency enclosing us. We also create a layer of memory, wrapping us further, and then a layer of perception itself. All of these are layers of fabrication we construct to enclose ourselves, so that we appear to have form, able to ripple, to perceive, and to fabricate. If we simply remain awake within and observe, we can see that the thinking is happening on its own. The voice that speaks inside is not anyone's voice, and it has no form, no self. See that it is not us speaking. Look carefully, down to the point of seeing that it has no form, no identity at all, so much so that it does not even truly exist as a voice. At this stage, can human beings understand? No, they cannot. But if we keep observing, it will gradually refine itself until nothing is left, not even the sense of being anything at all. Then nothing arises. There remains only emptiness, swallowing the whole universe, abiding in that way constantly. Do you know? This is how it is for me, always. So let us all awaken to the mind. It is my duty to declare this knowledge of awakening to the mind. Everyone, children, elders, those with disabilities, women and men, people of every creed, every religion, every race and nation, must come to this awakening. All must pass this subject. You have the chance now, dwelling in this vessel, to understand the language I speak. This language exists only to tell you that you are not human, and you are not the voice you hear. The voice is only used to remind you not to cling to it, for it has no true existence. Do you see? We are the pure, crystal clear, empty life element. Awaken to it. Realize it directly. Pass this test. Whoever has not awakened is truly missing something. From now on, everyone in this world must awaken to the mind. If you have not yet, then listen to my talks on the 𝙤𝙤 channel and share them with all. When this spreads, we will no longer suffer. We will no longer be born again. This world will become a world of peace, where all live together in harmony, without anger, hatred, oppression, or boasting. There will be no pride of being the greatest, the richest, the most powerful, the most accomplished, for there is no self at all. Why be the greatest? Why be the most skilled? Why boast of power? There is no one here. Even as these words are spoken now, there is no sense that I am the one speaking. Do you understand? There is no sense of being human, nor any sense of being anything at all. There remains only the sense that it is not anything at all, utterly empty, clear, and pure. And because of this, beings can live together in harmony and peace. I myself distribute recordings freely to those who are poor or in need, and to anyone who sincerely wishes to awaken to the mind now. For those who do not yet feel the wish, that is fine. The day will come when they will. When suffering becomes overwhelming, they will struggle to find a way beyond it, and then they will come to listen to my recordings. When the day arrives that death draws near, and there is no refuge, then too they will come to listen. For this is the way to permanent freedom from suffering. Then there will be no return to suffering, no return to ignorance, no return to harming and destroying one another. Do you see? Even now we are feeding upon the bodies of other minds, minds that dwell in beings of the sea, on the land, in the air. We eat their flesh, we consume one another, and when we consume them, they harbor anger and hatred toward us, and in turn, they devour us. One day, we ourselves are reborn as those very beings, to be eaten in return. We suffer beyond measure. Even now, the harm that comes upon us is the result of what we once did to them. And so it turns back and forth endlessly, never finished. Birth into suffering, into hatred, into killing and destruction, without end, until we awaken to the mind. When we awaken, everything is finished. Everyone in this world will speak only of the mind, of not being born, of not suffering. It is utterly peaceful. The voice speaking here has no true existence. The mental images we imagine have no true existence. The feelings of happiness, too, have no true existence. The feelings of sorrow also have no true existence. They arise and dissolve on their own. They are merely appearances, just natural events, not us at all. The knowing that knows, it knows by itself. It smells on its own. It hears sounds on its own. None of this is me. It is light, open, and spacious. We will speak only of such things. Whoever has realized that these fabrications are not ours, that even this body is not our body, that the voices, the images, the emotions, and the knowing itself are not us, such a one has seen clearly. Right now you hear my voice. Do you see? It is only hearing by itself. Where then is the self? Do you see? It knows on its own. So why cling? Why boast? Why claim that this is me or mine? There has never been a self born into this world. Can you see? Then why boast of greatness? Why display pride? We all have a mind, yet we do not know the mind. Instead, we think we are human. Is this not pitiful? Should we not call it ignorance? We are the life element without form, empty, clear, and utterly pure. Yet we keep generating fabrications all the time. We play with thoughts until they turn into illness, neurosis, stress, insomnia, depression, requiring medicine. We suffer with the body, suffering over this disease or that disease. We struggle and suffer to find money. We fabricate pieces of paper and call them money, then become slaves to that paper. We live just to exchange it for food. We become slaves to struggle, to competition, to killing and destroying for the sake of food, clinging to the belief that this body is mine. When will we awaken? When will we come home? This is not our body. When will we understand? If even after speaking this much you still do not understand, it is all right. Just keep listening. Listen again and again. Observe closely. Everything in this world arises only because we think it so. We imagine and give meaning, saying this is a woman, that is a man. We imagine that is a mango tree, that is a coconut tree. But do those things ever say so themselves? We imagine this is my arm, these are my legs. Look closely. Do they speak? See the voice that speaks inside the mind. Suppose a thought arises. I really want to eat coconut. Can you see the voice that creates this story? It believes that the coconut is truly there, that we are truly human, that we must truly eat. Have we forgotten that we are the life element without form, empty, clear, and pure? Yet we believe we are human. When this body dies, we may take on the vessel of a water creature, and again we believe we are that creature. What will you be then? When you are reborn on land, you believe you are a land animal. One moment you are human, the next you are a duck quacking, yet just before you were still a person. When this body dies, we take up another vessel. Do we understand how foolish the mind really is? Truly, we are extremely foolish. Do not be angry when I speak like this. But look, who is angry right now? Who is dissatisfied? See that emotion. It is arising by itself. Can you see that it is speaking inside your mind right now? If you cannot, that is serious, because thinking is happening all the time. The inner voice is constantly speaking, but it is not us. It has no self, no form. Since it has no true existence, why cling to it as me? Mental images have no real self either. Since they are not real, why suffer because of them? You imagine a picture and immediately suffer over it. Were you born just to suffer? We are the pure element, yet we cling to being human. That is the height of ignorance. Happiness, sorrow, neutrality, calm. Every emotion we crave, wanting happiness and rejecting sorrow, are in fact the same. They have no true self. If someone could take happiness or sorrow or any state of merit or sin and place it before me, then show me. Does it exist as a real thing? If not, Why cling to it in foolishness? Some cry in suffering until tears run like blood. See how ignorant this is. Does suffering itself have a real existence? When it does not, why grasp it? It is only an appearance, is it not? It arises only because we think. When our thoughts turn out as we wish, happiness arises. When they do not, suffering arises. Can you see that emotions are only appearances, just certain conditions, a kind of natural phenomenon that manifests and then dissolves? Happiness appears, and then it dissolves. Suffering appears, and then it dissolves. Seeing this, can you understand that these things have no real self? Then why cling to them in foolishness? Whoever can see this will feel, then it is all right, it is easy. Yes, it becomes light. Who taught you to suffer? If the voice that speaks has no real existence, then why do we suffer because of it? Indeed, why suffer? This body exists only because we imagine it so. If we see clearly that everything arises only because of our thinking, and if we see that the thoughts themselves have no true existence, then everything becomes light, open, and easy, as though life itself is effortless. The hearing happens on its own, the smelling happens on its own, the knowing happens by itself. See this point. Just awaken within and notice that it knows by itself. It hears sounds by itself. It smells by itself. It speaks by itself. None of it is me. Then why suffer at all? When this understanding arises, there is a sudden release, a spacious lightness, and then continued clarity. Keep listening to my talks until this feeling of lightness bursts open. It bursts by itself, as if this body explodes into fine fragments, leaving no sense of being human anymore. There is openness, a vastness that swallows the whole universe, utterly astonishing. Whoever reaches this state knows directly, there is nothing to be, and there is no suffering. One knows with certainty, there is no birth, no becoming. There is no self left at all. What remains is only the wish to tell others, to encourage everyone to listen, to not suffer over anything, because nothing truly exists. Suffering has no real existence. The stories of this world have no real existence. Do not suffer over anything. It only wishes to tell the world, awaken, return home. This is how it will be. Be clear, know this truth. I have spoken plainly. Overcome this game. Awaken to your own mind. Pass this subject. It is now the right time to stop. May all of you who listen to my talks incline your minds to receive them. May you realize the truth. May you awaken to the mind swiftly and suddenly, each and every one of you. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.